Hi, today I want to talk to you about perhaps the potential reason why you are stagnant in your life. It is my belief that whenever there is stagnation, it usually leads to atrophy. And so when you look at a river, the river looks stable, right? It doesn't look like it's undergoing a lot of change. But when you look at that steady stream in a river, it's still flowing, right? But when you have a puddle of water and there's no flow in and out of that water is gonna go stale. And it happens a lot with food too, right? So I remember when I first started cooking for myself in college, I made some Korean soup, and then I assumed that if I just left it outside, it would last for a few days, but much to my surprise, it did not last even one night because it's stagnant. There's no heat exchange. There's no refrigeration, so it's stale. Therefore, it's bound to atrophy. You can say this for a lot of your skills as well, like your brain capacity. When you do something and then you stop doing it, for example, if you played piano when you were young, and you stopped for a while, you probably can't play at that level again, right? Immediately. So when you don't use something, it usually leads to atrophy. So why I'm saying this is my latest shorts have been about the brain, but brain has generally two parts when it comes to change work: the primitive brain and the prefrontal cortex. Primitive brain is your base brain that deals with survival, and it doesn't want to feel bad. It always wants to feel immediately comfortable. That kind of brain. And the other brain is your good brain, your future forward brain, your executive function brain, your decision making brain, your creative brain, right? Now, ideally, if everybody used their prefrontal cortex, their good brain, the more advanced brain, a lot more often than they use the more basic brain, then I don't think there would be a lot of demand for me, honestly. Everything would be good. Everybody would be living their dream. Everybody would be making steps to living their ideal dream. But we don't. We a lot of the times feel bad. We a lot of the times feel unmotivated, lazy. We a lot of the times feel like we should just stay put. We should just stay stagnant. And then we feel bad about not doing more with our life. Isn't that ironic? That you're kind of like conditioned to putting yourself in a stagnant position, and then you always just feel bad for not making it. So what's the reason why people generally get stagnant? And based on my experience as a change worker, it's because of how you were conditioned to believe as you were growing up. When you're growing up, you want to do all these things and you want to explore your personal power. Like, oh my god, I could move my body this way. It feels so good because you've never used your body that way before, right? And you're excited. Maybe you're learning how to do the ride the bike. Maybe you're learning, new martial arts. Maybe you're learning gymnastics, or you're having a good time in physical education. And then you want to continue using that energy. I want to feel this feels really fun. But then your parents and the environment says, "Why are you so rowdy? Why are you so not well behaved? You're a problem. You need to stay put. Why you're so undisciplined?" And then you start feeling like, oh, maybe there's something wrong with me. Am I not supposed to be this way? And the same goes for your dreams. You have all these dreams of like, oh, playing piano is so much fun. I want to be a pianist. I want to be a musician. Oh, art is so fun. I want to be an artist. I want to be a comic book artist. And then the world comes in and says, no, no, there's only so few people that make it with that career. What are you doing with your life? Oh, you're so irresponsible. When are you going to start being realistic? And when you hear that, over and over and over again, and you don't know how to deal with that kind of negative feedback from the world, you kind of have to conform to that belief. Because if you don't, you keep fighting. You don't know better. So, oh, but I do want to be an artist. But they all tell me that I shouldn't be an artist. But I want to be an artist. And then when that struggle continues, it's usually you against like a bigger world, right? So you start feeling threatened, and then the primitive brain kicks in and wants you to be safe. And so you stop fighting and you start conforming. And really, really tragically, you start embodying that ideology yourself. You start to think that you're unrealistic. You start to think that you should grow up. You start to think that you should be like everyone else. And that is, in my opinion, what kills your prefrontal cortex the most. And if you are going through this, I can give you 1,000 tips. I can give you a lot of life hacks to get your life back in order. But it all has to start from this deep commitment to the belief that there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with your beliefs. There's nothing unrealistic. There's nothing childish. There's nothing undisciplined about your personal power. And this concept sounds really foreign to you because you're so used to feeling bad. But I'm repeatedly drilling this point into your head with this video today. There's nothing wrong with you. So that this concept that maybe there is nothing wrong with me can start planting the seeds in your brain and start uprooting your stagnant prefrontal cortex. Your future planning, your executive brain right now is stagnant. I want the first basis of the flow process to begin with the simple idea of, yeah, there's nothing wrong or irresponsible about you. So, with that said, I am planning a seminar or a workshop so that if you're feeling uninspired and if you don't know what you're doing with your life and you're just kind of taking the day by day on autopilot, I'm making this workshop so that after you come into this workshop, you're gonna leave with a new vision for your life. You're gonna leave with excitement about your life. You're gonna leave with concrete ideas of what you can do with your life. So that's gonna be coming sometime in May. So if you're interested, we'll subscribe and we'll keep in touch. All right, I'll see you in the next video.